If you look at his leg swing, he's very confident. He has great contact on the ball. Okay, the elevation's unbelievable, and there's his leg strength.
Welcome into another edition of the Browns Breakdowns, where we go into the film room with the position coach for one of our draft picks. And today we have the honor of being joined by Browns special teams coordinator Mike Priefer, as we're going to go into the film room and take a look at our kicker, Cade York. And Priefer, this is a good offseason for you. Jakeem Grant comes in, some punters come in, and then in the draft, you go out and get the guy that you wanted, Cade York.
I think everybody wanted him. I think it was an easy sell. I know Andrew and Kevin, they both saw what we saw on special teams as a kicker, and spent a lot of time with Cade at the combine, some extra time with him there, and then went down to LSU and worked him out and took him to dinner, got to know him a little bit. And he's only 21, but very mature young man, understands his craft very well, a very confident young guy, and so we're really excited that he's here as a Cleveland Brown.
Let's look at one with ease. He's practically kicking from the logo here, Coach, a 55-yarder.
So whenever, and I think, Nathan, you and I have talked about this before, whenever we evaluate a college kicker or a pro kicker, free agent, we're going to look at timing, elevation, and accuracy, those three things. So the timing, so you don't get it blocked off the edge. The elevation, so you don't get it blocked inside. And then, of course, accuracy, like the 15 of 19 for 50 plus. So Cade's got all those. He's had good timing. And for us, the timing is 1.27 to 1.32 seconds. So if you're in that window, you should be fine. If our protection...
From the snap of the ball.
Yes, sir. The whole operation time from the snap, the hold to kick is 1.27 to 1.32. So he's got to have good rhythm. We're not quite there yet, but we're working towards that. I'd rather have him go slow early and then speed it up as we go. So looking for accuracy. So obviously he had a phenomenal career from this area of the field, okay? And he did a really nice job here. If you look at his leg swing, he's very confident. He has great contact on the ball, okay? The elevation's unbelievable, and there's his leg strength. Obviously, here's another one. This should be about a 55-yarder again, 56-yarder from the left hash. And you guys know the hash marks are different, obviously, so it's a little bit easier in pro ball, because they're a little bit tighter. For any kicker, it's a bit easier. But if you watch, this is what we watch for the elevation right here. So if you see, there's the kick. There's no way it's going to get blocked inside. His timing's been really good because he had worked with this holder and snapper before. Obviously, 3 years with the holder.
Do you have a certain height that you would like the ball to be when it gets over the line of scrimmage? High enough.
High enough. That doesn't get blocked inside. I mean, you got, who's the young man in Baltimore, the big defensive lineman? He's 6'9". I mean,
Calais Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell. Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's so big. You can be at the line of scrimmage, and he jumps up at the line of scrimmage. He's almost 10 feet. So it's at least 10 feet is what we're looking for, but high enough. And he is absolutely high enough. You know, especially when you kick into the wind, maybe into the dog pound end, you want to make sure that you get that elevation. But watch his follow through. Follows through towards his target, keeps his eyes down and long enough, and he put it just inside the left upright there. And when you kick it that far, he's going to want it down the middle because he's a perfectionist, which I love about him. But at the end of the day, if it's between the pipes, that's all we really care about.
All right, Coach. Now we're in our stadium here, First Energy Stadium. The helmets are on. You got the full battery. 1, what do you see? 2, what are you looking for when you watch this kind of tape?
All right, first thing is, obviously, Charlie is one of the best snappers in the league, so we're making sure he's accurate. And he has to throw back what I call a catchable ball. Some people like to go too fast. We never time this snap. There's scouts out there, not on our staff does a great job, our personnel people. Other staffs, personnel people I've been a part of, they want to time this field goal snap. Well, there's too much margin for error when you're timing whatever it's going to be. So we time the whole operation. Yep. And like I said earlier, 1.27 to 1.32 is what we're looking for. Right now, Cade's a little bit slower than that, and that's by design because he needs to get used to. We have 2 different holders, Corey and Joe. We're talking about how we catch the ball. We catch the ball the top third of the ball. So as he slides his hand, like if this is the ball, he'll slide his hand up to hold it, and he gets to see the sweet spot before it even hits a spot. So for the holder, we talk about quick and smooth. The kicker, we talk about quick and smooth. Snap, we talk about being quick and smooth. So this guy right here, he's catching the top third of the ball. He's sliding it down, turning it if you have to. So we talk about snap, got to catch a snap, spot, okay, tilt, and then laces in that order. So you want to catch a snap, get the spot. His tilt is mainly straight up and down with a little bit of tilt towards the holder, just a little bit. And then obviously the laces are towards the target. So that's what we're looking for there.
And is that tilt predicated upon where it is on the field and the kicker's preference? Does the kicker often have each kicker have an individual preference?
Absolutely, 100%. Like I think Cody was straight up and down. Some kickers light a little bit forward and to the right, but he's very specific. And again, he won't make excuses. Some other kickers will. This guy will come out and say, "Yeah, put it down." But I said, "No, let's be specific. How do you like it?" And that's what he likes it. Pretty much straight up and down with a slight tilt towards the holder, nothing forward, nothing back, obviously, and certainly never anything towards the kicker. That's what we're trying to avoid. So our holders are working on those specifics. Our kicker obviously is working on his jab. He's a jab two-step right-footed place kicker.
What does that mean?
He's going to take a quick jab here. Watch his left foot. Okay, some people are two-step kickers. They just go 1-2. He's going to take a quick jab or rhythm step with that left foot right there. Okay, and then he becomes then he's two steps from there. So it's jab with the left, and then 1-2 right left, and then obviously his left foot's his plant foot, and he kicks it through. So we're looking for here. He's got pretty good spinal, straight up and down with his spine. All right, his plant foot is where he wants it to be. Okay, the ball strike's got to be on the certain panel, right in behind here, right on the sweet spot with that hard bone on your foot. That's where you're trying to hit it. All right, he's going to keep his eyes down. We talk about eye discipline. Doesn't want to look up too early because that turns his shoulders, opens up the kick, and sometimes he'll pull it left, which he'll do sometimes. So we're really looking for that. And obviously following through towards his target. He doesn't want to swing across his body too far because that'll also pull it to the left. Sometimes, and if he hits off his toe, if he swings too far to the left, he hits off his toe, it'll punch it to the right. So there's a lot going on. It's not just, it's, to me, you may say it because a lot of people don't understand. There's no chip shot field goals. That's one of the things that drives me crazy. A 33-yard PAT is not a chip shot. No. A 20-yard field goal is not a chip shot. There's a lot going on. There's protection, all this. Now, should he make them all? Of course, because he's good enough. But, we have protection. We got the snap, we got the hold, we got the kick. There's a lot going on. And like I said, you got the Calais Campbells of the world trying to knock it down inside. You got Humphrey coming off the edge for them from Baltimore, who's so good coming off the edge. So that's you got timing, you got elevation, and then of course you got the accuracy. So I'm not trying to make it overly complicated, but there's a lot more going on than normal people understand. He had a great conversation with Phil Dawson. Phil's been so gracious, and I had a talk with Phil after we drafted Cade, and they spent about 45 minutes on the phone, and Phil was fantastic. I know he's coaching high school ball down in Texas, doesn't have a lot of time because they're in spring ball, but he was gracious enough to talk to Cade about the winds and the plant foot and the turf and all those sorts of things. And I think what Cade did is he took a lot of notes, really appreciated the conversation, and then whatever helps Cade. That's what Phil said. Don't have paralysis by analysis. Just take a couple things from the conversation, work on those little things, one thing at a time, and then go from there. And if you think about too many things, obviously I can't think of more than one thing, as my wife will tell you, and I certainly can't chew gum while I'm thinking, because then I'm really in trouble. But if you got to make sure you're only working on one thing at a time, and that's what he's really good at.
How about the mental aspect of it? Because when I asked him what was the biggest difference, as you mentioned, he missed, I think, 6 kicks, you said, his freshman year, and then after that really didn't miss much. And he said it was a change in his mental approach and getting that mental routine. Absolutely. How important is that? And then how do you kind of coach somebody through that? Or if he has something that works for him, do you say, okay, that's your mental routine, do it?
Honestly, that's what I'm doing right now. Let him do his mental routine. And I've told him, and I told him back at the combine, I said, look, if we draft you, I'm not going to change who you are. I'm not going to change your technique. I will help you refine your technique, and whatever changes have to be made is up to him. He's the one that's got to change them. I might see something on the field, I might see something in tape that the more we talk about his technique, the better I'll get to know him, because I don't know him totally yet. I'm in work in progress as well. So I will help him with that part of it, but his mental part, to me, it's all about giving him confidence. And he's already a confident guy. Yeah. So I've seen head coaches and other coaches beat down a kicker before, even good kickers. They've been mentally fried. And I've seen that happen, and it's a horrible, horrible thing. So we're obviously not going to do that. Our head coach has been great with him. Our GM's been great with him. Our team will be great with him. He's already a confident young man. So we're going to utilize that strength of him being confident to make sure that he's not ever comfortable, never overconfident, but confident enough to go in and say, I'm going to make this kick every single time I go out there.
Well, Coach, this has been fantastic. Thank you for educating us about timing, elevation, accuracy, the 1.27 to 1.32, all the little things that go into it. That's fun. Because at the end of the day, what the average person knows is, did it go through the uprights or did it not?
It's really all that matters at the end of it. But there's a process to get there, and
right.
And we're going to keep working on that process.
You told us something about process and preparation eliminates poor performance, we'll call it. That's right. Our special teams coordinator, Mike Priefer. We were just looking at Cade York, and thank you for joining us on another edition of Browns Breakdowns.